Before we get in the video, I want you guys to know I'll be adding some new perks for my memberships on YouTube. If you guys click the link below, you guys can become a member. If you guys do, you guys get exclusive emails, which I'll be updating on very, very soon. Some new emails, I'm going to try to change them at least every month. But also, you guys get free wallpapers from mobile, PC, and tablet. This one right here, it'll be a mobile one. And yeah, hope you guys like it. And I'll see you guys. Well, enjoy the video. Let me place everything up because I keep forgetting. This is my digital setup, so I have like things are all over the place for me right now. Alright guys, so we're gonna watch a video of J.Cole. Why is hip-hop doesn't respect J.Cole anymore? Obviously that's clickbait because a lot of people respect J.Cole in the hip-hop world. People did clown him when he didn't want to like rap against Kendrick Lamar even further than the first diss, and now they're calling him the smart man because we already know what happened to Drake. Drake.
Of 2024. Back then, J. Cole was coming in hot after a legendary feature run that led Complex to name him as the best rapper of last year, despite the fact that he didn't even release a single project. While he hadn't dropped it yet, the long-anticipated album The Fall Off was expected to come out sometime this year, and everyone was ecstatic to see what Cole had in store. But now the world has turned on its head, and not only have some of hip-hop's most influential voices turned against him, but even parts of his own fanbase have as well. In just a matter of months, the fall-off has gone from need it to keep it for a lot of users. While Cole himself is being accused of ruining his entire legacy piece by piece, with one terrible miscalculation after another. It's your boy Luesta, and today, we're looking at how J. Cole lost his respect with a culture that once idolized him. But to explain how the perception of Cole has shifted so drastically to the point that it...
Let me look at the dislike buttons on this. Yeah, he has like a lot more average dislikes than your usual. Wait, does he actually believe that nobody respects J. Cole anymore? Well, not nobody, but like a lot of people no more longer. Wait, what? What? Okay, Lewis, I like your content. I like your hip hop content. But what the fudge are you talking about?
Looks like his career might have taken critical damage. We need to first remind ourselves of how we were discussing this particular MC before all of this happened. Rapping since a young age under names like The Therapist and Blaza, J. Cole's journey from a hardworking student at St. John's University who released a string of classic mixtapes to becoming a Rock Nation signee and a highly respected MC.
I'm a big fan of Friday Night Lights and the warm up. The come up, I did not listen to that one, but the warm up and the Friday Night Lights mixtapes are good.
In his own right is well documented. But it's important to remember that throughout his career, Cole has always emphasized that he never wanted to just be on the field, but that he specifically aimed to be a star player in the game. In fact, long before he was even considered in that conversation, he was always driven by the desire to be seen as the GOAT.
Some people want to be great and be the greatest, so their mind state is different. Some people just want to make the league. That's the highest they can see. I just always was seeing past that. So when I got a record deal, everybody was like, oh my God, you signed to Jay-Z. I'm like, I'm looking at that bank account, and more than that, I'm looking at what I haven't done. And I'm like, I'm barely celebrating this. You know what I mean? So I think it's just like, sustainability comes from like looking ahead and being very clear on what you want. Do you want to make the league, or do you want to be one of the GOATs? You know what I mean? That's a different type of mentality, I think.
It's no secret that Cole achieved a lot throughout his lengthy career, and it's thanks to none other than that winner mentality. He went platinum with no features so many times that it became a meme at one point, launched his own Dreamville label successfully, and even brought the entire hip-hop community together for the Revenge of the Dreamers 3 project. Besides that, he was praised for being above the industry politics or negative traits that are usually associated with the genre, with fans saying things like, J. Cole is worth $117 million. He rides around on a bike with no guns and no security and no one bothers him. He's not stunting, not flossing, he's not messing with other guys' girlfriends. He's not kicking guys who are less fortunate. He's humble. Gracious enough to seem like he was accepting third place on tracks like Heaven's EP, where he said Drake and Kendrick were still superstars to him.
Some people say that I'm running third, they threw the bronze at me. Behind Drake and Dot, yeah, them niggas is superstars to me.
Cole seemed content to follow his own path in hip-hop and favored relationships with his fellow rappers over asserting himself as the best.
Like, nobody can really relate to that like these dudes. And I really genuinely fuck with these dudes. So like, I've been trying to, you know, absolutely make an effort, like strip the competition from it. Like, y'all niggas are cemented forever. I will hope that I'm cemented forever. And if not, I will be, you know, when it's all said and done. Like the competition part, I've stripped it.
But I think another thing is about J. Cole now. I don't think he wants to be like the GOAT. I know it's weird saying that, but I think he's just more of a, he just wants to chill now. You know what I mean? Like his mentality probably just changed throughout time when he got older. Because I mean, that's because again, old J. Cole, which is kind of like we're saying that, but old J. Cole would have been like, yeah, let's battle. I'll battle Kendrick Lamar, right? I'll do diss tracks, I'll pump diss tracks, I personally think Cole would have done a lot better job than Drake, in my personal opinion, but that's just me. But yeah, I don't think I don't care if he cares about any of that anymore. That's why I think he was like, yeah, you know what? I'm out. I'm good. Kendrick won. He's the GOAT. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
way, and I'm now on some shit like, man, I'm more interested in the relationship because I also see a time when I'm not doing it. 100% of people are never gonna say J. Cole is the best rapper breathing. You won't get 90% to say Drake. You won't get 90% to say Kendrick. It's just never gonna happen. It comes with age to realize that, like, yo, what are you even worried about? I approach my bars from that perspective, but the reality of me knows that's unattainable.
When you look back at that comment, it's crazy to see how a small mistake changed everything about how people saw Cole just a few years later. But we'll be talking about that more in the second half of this video. Initially, it was Cole's level-headed approach to hip-hop that won over fans and even fellow artists, as they felt like he truly upheld what the hip-hop genre was all about.
I feel J. Cole should have walked some Grammys. The fact that he did a whole album, no features, he really did what Nas did on his first record. It was. I can remember people like likening Nas to Rakim again. They were saying that the standard was met again and exceeded. I think that J. Cole met a certain standard by doing that. I think that he brought attention away from the hype of who are the features, the hype of who are the producers, and he.
I mean, also, I think that the good thing about not having the features on his album was kind of like I could do it just on my own. I don't need other artists to hype me up, to like, you know, to hype the album up to make better sales and stuff like that. Again, features are good to have on your album, obviously, but there's artists that desperately need those features in order to sell their albums, and you know how like quickly they fall off, right? Because there's even like artists that get like good feature for like their genre of like style hip hop, and they do very bad because nobody cares anymore about them, right? Like the artist itself, not the features, but like the artist itself. It gets to that point. Like first they do like, oh, who they're collabing with, who they're going this with. Now they go to a point where like, who cares? Oh, I got this guy. Oh, I like the artist, but I'm not really a fan of the main artist anymore. So I don't know.
Put the hype firmly on the meat of the records. I think that J. Cole has did something bigger than a Grammy. He has given a cultural expectation to a group of kids who didn't have that marker before. I think that he has redirected the hype of who can I collab with and how could I grow myself. And I'm very proud of that brother for that.
Over time, Cole would increasingly acquire.
By the way, I did hear one of his features from Korea with J.Hope. I really like the beat a lot. I like the lyrics on it too. Obviously, J-Hope's I had to look it up because I was in Korea for the most part. But yeah, it was a good song.
More flowers as he settled into his role as one of hip-hop's most respected artists, including other members of the Big Three.
I gotta say this just because, you know, I don't always want to have like a heartfelt moment when we're on stage together and shit, but you know, you did that pipe down freestyle the other day, right? You were saying in the freestyle about, you know, they handed you the bronze and whatever, me and Kendrick. I just want you to understand something. You are genuinely, without a doubt, one of the greatest rappers to ever touch a mic in this lifetime. And I want to let you know, it's way too many people in the world that think and know that J. Cole is at top on the pole position. I love you with all my heart. You're my brother, one of my favorite artists, and I always appreciate you.
But what is notable is that while J. Cole spoke openly about his desire to put aside the need to dominate the game or surpass the achievements of his fellow rappers, he also created a contradiction when it came time to actually spit on a track. From claiming that he was the hardest on his famous LA Leakers freestyle,
You want shoot, then shoot, don't play with me. Hardest shit out the South since slavery, nigga.
to increasingly claiming if rappers wanted smoke, then he's a whole fucking nicotine company on projects like the off-season. To say that Cole has been feeling himself since the turn of the decade is an understatement. Deviating from the messages he gave out in the interview, Cole not only wanted to take on the world himself, but instilled a mentality in his Dreamville signees that they could compete head-to-head with the biggest cliques in the world.
We just really competing with TDE. This is a whole nother thing. We competing with TDE. That's what needs to be known. Dreamville, we gotta step this shit the fuck up. Them niggas is fire. We gotta step it up.
Claiming that he could cook any rapper that was sent his way, Cole invited an attack for years until he got one. Because soon, it was one of these bravado-fueled bars that would bring Cole's career to a dangerous crossroad.
Love when they argue the hardest MC. Is it K-Dot, is it Aubrey or me? We the big three like we started a league, but right now I feel like Muhammad Ali.
On first-person shooter, Cole delivered a backhanded compliment at both Drake and Kendrick. While claiming they were the biggest artists in the game, pinpointing that he is the Muhammad Ali would imply that he is truly the greatest in this field. At the time that he delivered these bars, it fit in with the image we had of Cole, as for years now, he had nurtured this perception that he'd willingly shred any rapper to the point that veterans like Royce the 5'9" and Joe Budden were claiming that he was the only one who upheld that spirit in today's industry.
It looks like J.Cole is the only one being competitive. He's the only one who's rapping with the kind of conviction that says, you know, like, I still value the #1 spot as a lyricist.
I got Cole as my one. I'm hoping that Kendrick's next album could try to fix that for me. Drake is doing his Chuck E. Cheese shit. Good for him.
Different battles.
That's it now.
Yeah,
that's it. That's it.
This belief was shared widely across the game, and legends like Busta Rhymes thought that Cole wouldn't hesitate to go all out if a beef ever started.
I think a lot of light is being shined on Cole right now because he's displaying himself in that.
Wait, hold on. How long was that album, by the way, when he said those lyrics?
That way, because he's being real active with features from the Lil Yachty to the Drake to 21 Savage. Like, he's moving and shaking in that space.
Yeah.
So you said that a year ago. So what happened a year ago to now? What happened?
With grace, and he's making sure you understand that he ain't got no problem with chopping your head off too.
With fans leaving comments like, I've been saying Jermaine Cole seems to be the only rapper that took Kendrick Lamar's Control verse seriously, and J. Cole is the best rapper alive and it's not up for debate, it's clear that Busta, Royce, and Joe were onto something. But the problem with all these remarks from rappers and fans is that now Cole has made them feel like they were deceived all along. Because, as you probably know by now, Cole's world changed for the worse with one bar from Kendrick Lamar on the song Like That, where he said, "Motherfuck the big three, it's just big me." Faced with Kendrick throwing that kind of gauntlet down to both him and Drizzy, Cole was in a difficult position. After all those bars about how he wanted smoke, the Dreamville CEO knew that he was expected to respond, even if it was clear that he felt no animosity towards Dot, a man who he'd known since way back in 2011. Like much of what Cole has said over the years, he basically foretold the issues he faced when it came to the whole world expecting a response from him. And as he told Lil Yachty, feeling the pressure from the hip-hop community, critics, or social media can make you act in ways that aren't true to yourself.
The conversation can be toxic. If you're not protective of your energy, you can get wrapped up in that shit and then be affected mentally. You know what I mean? You can be hurt, you can be distraught, you can be depressed. It can cause you if you're not protecting your energy to move in a certain way. But
crazily, he also acknowledged that he knew this was just part of the game and that it didn't govern his decision making.
Imagine a music industry where nobody cared to talk about it. And nobody cared to come up with a narrative. Although it sucks when the narrative is trash and it's toxic and it might be whack or it might be personal. Like the incident you talking about where it might feel a little personal. It's like, yo, bro, this is what we signed up for.
But no matter how much wisdom he could give out to Lil Bo, when he was removed from the heat of that situation, it was clearly too much for him to handle when the whole world was waiting for him to respond to K-Dot's Like That verse. And with that, 7 Minute Drill was born. But it did not do the damage he was expecting it to do. A track that took aim at Dot's catalog and suggested he was ready to go to war with Kendrick if he had to. The track was one of the biggest talking points off his mixtape Might Delete Later. But the only problem was that it seemed like his heart wasn't in it, and yet people knew that this was what hip-hop demanded of him.
This is a weak diss. Clearly, J. Cole did not want to do this, and yet he did it anyway. I mean, I sort of get it. The hip-hop fandom is toxic in such a way that if J. Cole did kind of come out and was serious and was real about how he actually felt about this and was just like, I don't want to do this, guys.
Bruh, I will say this. A lot of this stuff did age poorly. not on J. Cole's thing. It was more on the people. Because people were just like, yeah, we gotta apologize to him now.
I think it's kind of lame. Like, that would be valid. That would be so fucking down to earth and honestly just reality. But if J. Cole did that, if he actually said that in response, all the fans would clown him and just be like, oh, you're lame, you fucking pussy, which honestly sucks. While this response does kind of blow, it's not really a shot against J. Cole's artistry or credibility, because I think what the problem ultimately is here is that his heart really wasn't into a response like this. And again, even if this track is mid, which it very much is, I can sympathize with that.
Although not everyone is on board with Fantano's perspective, I personally think that he was right, and Cole really wanted no part of releasing that track. As a result, he took to the stage at the Dreamville Festival and not only admitted that all of the outside chatter had gotten to him, but also that he would be removing the song from streaming services.
So I'm so proud of that project, except for one part. It's one part of that shit that make me feel like, man, that's the lamest shit I ever did in my fucking life, right? And I know this is not what a lot of people want to hear. I know I can hear my niggas up there right now like, nah, don't do that. But I gotta keep it 100 with y'all. Y'all heard some shit that happened 2-3 weeks ago, however long it was. Y'all heard that bazooka that was dropped on the motherfucking game, right? All of this time of me moving on my own accord, for the first time I was tested. Why am I tested? Because I got the world and I got my niggas like, what you gonna do, Cole? And I was conflicted because, one, I know my heart, you know what I mean? And like, I know how I feel about my peers, these two niggas that I just been blessed to even stand beside in this game, let alone chase their greatness, right? So I felt conflicted because I'm like, bro, I know I don't really feel no way, but the world want to see blood. In my spirit of trying to like get this music out, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I moved in a way that I feel spiritually feel bad on me. Like I try to like jab my nigga back and I try to keep it friendly, but at the end of the day, when I listen to it and when it comes out and I see the talk, that shit don't sit right with my spirit. That shit make me feel, that shit disrupts my fucking peace.
Although he might have not known it at the time, J. Cole's world would never be the same again after this moment, as suddenly, the rapper who came up on sheer lyricism and upholding the traditions of the game had just violated one of the biggest rules of the genre. And that's that he kept opening the floodgates for both rappers and fans to pile on in a way that, in all honesty, he might not fully recover from. In the interest of fairness, let me clear that not everyone thinks what Cole did at the Dreamville Festival was a complete misstep. Instead, they think it was just a mission to
I think for when I first the first time I ever like heard him say this, I was like, ah, man, I thought you were supposed to say you're the greatest and all that. But then when you really think about it, again, I'm biased. I'll admit it. I'll admit it. I really thought about it, and I'm like, you can also just be like, bro, I don't give a shit about this. I don't want no beef no more. I don't want to
rescue his sanity. Cole's the
like, I don't want to deal with this pressure and stressing about this. I try to just chill at the beach, meme, that kind of mentality. And I could understand that, right? And I'm pretty sure a lot of people can understand that too, as well. Just certain people out there can understand that. Like, yeah, I really don't want to. I really don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with drama. I don't want to like have that pressure. I don't want to. Like, I just want to chill. I just want to like create stuff and just chill. And I can understand that personally. Cole is the guy who recognized the party is going to end in gunshots. He left at the right time. That's a perfect analogy, actually. And you know what? Cole is sleeping well. This right here is very, very good.
The guy who recognizes the party is going to end in gunshots. He left at the right time. Cole's sleeping really well. As for people like Charlamagne and T.I., they praise Cole for exhibiting a level of maturity that we're not used to seeing and remaining true to himself.
What did you feel when Cole said, I'm not being a part of this?
Man, I feel he chose peace and tranquility.
Yeah, man.
You gotta have thick skin. You gotta really be unfazed and unbothered.
It takes a real human to check himself and say, man, what I'm doing, I don't even believe in. I don't believe what I said. I don't even believe in what I did. Apologize and keep it moving. Y'all want a man to attack a man for your entertainment because we are a culture that feeds off conflict. We just have to have some conflict to feast on. We like to see people at war with each other because so many of us are at war with ourselves. It's really that simple. salute to Cole for breaking the cycle, especially if he simply doesn't want to. Okay, good for you, Cole, for not succumbing to the peer pressure of your homeboys, other artists, social media, whatever it is, okay?
But the only problem that a lot of people are having is that if Cole is all about being authentic and sticking to his values and beliefs, then it invalidates a whole lot of his bars in recent years. Plus, even those who see it as a wise move still can't fathom how much of it goes against how you're supposed to conduct yourself in hip-hop. Because while people like Charlemagne might have a point about the grown man mindset of J. Cole, that isn't an opinion that's held by most of the culture that Cole has strived to keep alive for so many years. And as Mick Jenkins put it, you can't be saying that nobody can fuck with you, and then when the only rapper they compare you to ends up challenging you, you can't expect for everyone to just accept your reasoning for bowing out. Because of his actions, you now have people looking at Cole in a whole new light, in some cases with complete disregard. Meanwhile, for many of the veterans and
let's see. J. Cole not in the big three anymore. Put in future Big Sean, well, Big Crit, or somebody else. Here's the thing. In my personal opinion. I do understand that in the hip hop world, battle is a part of hip hop. But also the quality of the music that they create is a big part of hip hop. And also the messages they put out, the majority of the messages. Just because he doesn't want to do a rap battle anymore, or go into that world, does not make him a less of a hip hop artist, in my opinion. Because again, like, you still cannot, like, in my opinion, you cannot like just delete his whole discography, like his albums and stuff like that. They don't become irrelevant. Like, what the hell? It doesn't work like that. Yeah, I don't know. I know people are like really feel like, yeah, this guy's beefing on, but I think that's the biggest problem with hip hop, especially when beef really becomes more reality kind of thing, right? Where it's shots can be fired, game related stuff could happen. I mean, even like, I don't know if this is like, we don't know if it's fully related, but like even Drake's house got shot up, and recently, this is not disrespect, but like recently a rapper just died recently, Fulio. He died recently, and I think like people are just so not even think about the consequences that could come with doing a hip hop beef. You've seen it in the history of hip hop, right? With Biggie Smalls, Tupac, Eazy-E, and much more. That dealt with like the beef of hip hop and like the battle of hip hop. And I think that's the thing that like not everybody has to do that, just become the greatest or go and be involved in that world anymore. I think that's like the hip hop culture, the biggest part that needs to change and needs to continue changing, not going towards it. It's like, yeah, you don't need to beef. You don't need to talk shit on other artists just to like make yourself feel relevant or make yourself feel like you're the GOAT or whatever. Like, I don't know. That's just me. I don't know. It's like, do you really need to do that now? Hey, I just saw your stream and I'm with my dog. Wait, you've been here? Wait, what? You've been here before? What?
Disregard. Meanwhile, for many of the veterans and commentators in the industry who would have previously given Cole his flowers whenever the opportunity arose, the whole thing seemed to not meet their perception of who he was as an MC. Because from everything we had seen in recent years, it looked like he would rather go down swinging than just throw in the towel. Courtesy of the confusion he caused, Cole had 50 Cent demanding that he call his phone to discuss the apology, while others like Dame Dash just seemed at a loss to understand it.
As a fan, I'm disappointed. And no disrespect to J. Cole, it seemed like he threw up the white flag. Personally, I wouldn't have gave 7 minutes, pause. I didn't even hear the whole shit. And it seemed like it bugged him so much that he gave him 7 minutes. It wasn't a vicious 7 minutes. Like, I don't want to hear the Simpsons and all that in that rap. In that moment, him apologizing, to me, was saying, yo, you won, you the best, I can't fuck with you. That's how I saw it. I'm not mad at him. I think it's great he could take the high road, but what high road? They were fucking bad.
While Dame Dash wanted to see more from Cole, even that was a moderate response. As for people like academics, the whole thing was a masterclass in embarrassing yourself.
Yo, whose GOAT is this, man? If you're a Cole fan, I don't care, man. I need one of y'all industry niggas to come up here and debate me, man. What type of beta male bullshit weak nigga shit is this? How you crying the song he dissed you on? You're apologizing for your song and crying his song. It's like
No, here's the thing about DJ Economics. He drives on hip hop drama. That's how he came up. So this guy just trying to like start a more beef or try to get a reaction on people to get people to start talking on his chat, get people riled up, get this shit going. That's what he does. That's how he came up. He came up of like talking about stories that within like drill rap and all that. Like what the fuck? This guy is a weirdo. All right, he's done some weirdo shit. There's been videos circulating around, right? Like I'm not gonna say what, but he does some weirdo shit. He says some weirdo shit. He's like he comes out. I think he comes out like an alpha male.
it's like you in the club, a nigga slap you, you punch him, and now later you say, man, yo, I'm sorry for even punching you, but I ain't gonna lie, that slap that you slapped me with, that shit was crazy, right? Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I felt that. What the fuck? What the hell's going on?
Although Axe comments are riddled with classic toxic masculinity, which suggests that the only option after being attacked is all-out war, the unfortunate truth for Cole is that he of all people should have known that this is the engine that hip-hop runs on. From the start, the rap game has been all about proving yourself against the competition and claiming the top spot.
Yeah,
so for some, the whole thing couldn't have backfired any harder in terms of what it does to Cole's reputation.
This is totally unacceptable. And I told y'all dudes that when these niggas get out there on stage frolicking, acting like they bestest of buddies. These niggas get on these stages and say anything. There's way too many clips going around of him saying that same speech to Drake about him being the greatest that he says to Kendrick about him being the greatest. Where do you truly stand? I don't want to hear no more about that record. I don't want to talk about it. He didn't mean it. It sounded like he didn't mean it. His voice was trembling like he didn't mean it. His choice of words as one of the greatest lyricists says he didn't mean it. He didn't mean it. I don't want to hear about that shit no more. Because oddly enough, what you did now is make the Like That record sound harder again for another fucking week.
As time went on, J. Cole took a backseat as the rivalry between Kendrick and Drake heated up. And to be honest, many thought this was the right move, as their beef became so intense that each new release was defined by harsh truths and wild speculation. Cole would eventually just retreat into his own world and stay very far from all of the drama. And for a moment, some fans wondered if he deserved an apology for the internet's outrage over how he left the beef, with many speculating that he might have known how things were going to turn out for Drake. While Cole's decision to step out of the ring is being seen in a different light after how
Well, here's my opinion too. I have a lot of opinions, but here's the thing too as well. You could also think about this mentality. J. Cole has no beef with Kendrick. J. Cole has no beef with Drake. He has no beef with anyone, even though Kendrick came mad at him, but only like there's no big three. It's just big me, right? Wow, holy shit! I gotta go war against him now, because. The thing is, the main beef that everybody wanted to see was Drake and Drake and Kendrick Lamar. That's it, because they've been beefing for a while now. Like little hits here and there, boom, boom, boom. But J. Cole, he was never really dissing anybody. He was doing little things, but it wasn't like a big diss like compared to Kendrick and Drake. And then so what happened is like, is this beef really about me or is this between these two? Mostly about between these two. I'm chilling. I'm good. Like, I can also see it that way. Like, why am I gonna get myself involved into this? I don't give it. Like, what?
How insanely personal things got between Dot and Drake, this doesn't solve the next problem Cole had created for himself. After retreating like that, Cole had to come out swinging when we next heard from him and remind us why he's such a beloved MC. But instead, we got this. After a month of silence, Cole returned to the game with his feature on Cash Cobain's song entitled Grippy. And it's fair to say that this was as far from a chess move as it gets. Following what had already been a hard time to be a coal miner, his fans were left at a loss for words over how they were meant to defend him now. And honestly, nothing puts it better than this reaction by No Life Shaq.
Here's the thing, man. Why are you wasting your time defending your artists online, man? Like the people you're defending against, they're like, they're strangers. They're strangers. Like, oh, Kendrick Lamar sucks. Oh, Drake sucks. Oh, J. Cole's pussy because he took the diss track back. This and that. Man, people waste so much time online beefing, and it's like, what's the point, man? All right, I get it. Hey, I don't like Drake, right? I don't want to see his music. That's it, right? because I'm making this video of a reaction video and I'll upload it on YouTube. Of course I'll talk about it, but after that I'm moving on. But for people, they stay there for days. They're waiting for a reply. They're waiting for like, oh, okay, you said this, I'm gonna get you with that. It's like they're playing Wordo online or something like that.
We finna check this out, man. People telling me this is the first song J. Cole made ever since the beef. J. Cole fans been fighting for their life for 2 months. Here we go, man. We finna check this out.
Grippy, I call her that cause it's grippy. She thinking that if she a hippie, and she thinking the lips, she gon' lick me.
Ain't no way this nigga just said, she thick in the hips, she hippie. Ain't no way J. Cole said the bar that simple. It's no way.
Believe it or not, like Ripley's. She said she was gay until I slayed. Now she strictly diggly. As soon as she pays, I'm on the way, and I be showing the.
Yeah, we doomed. But J. Cole fan, we cooked. Ain't no way this nigga said strictly dickly. I can't take this, y'all. This nigga J. Cole said strictly dickly. I cannot get over that. He said, I'ma take him to Disney. I'ma pay enough money so they can meet Mickey. What is the world coming to?
On that verse, Cole regrets back to the kind of rhymes that he might have dropped for commercial purposes during his early career. Except, rather than letting Nas down like he did earlier in his career, it seemed like it was the entire hip-hop audience that had been riding for him even after he had damaged his own reputation. I don't understand why Cole thought that Grippy song was a good idea. He dropped Might Delete later, then showed us Shoulda.
Honestly, I never listened to that song. I didn't know that song existed. I'm gonna be truly honest.
Deleted immediately. Left at a loss for words, some fans have even begun theorizing that everything he's done recently is part of an elaborate ploy to promote his upcoming album. But for the most part, people are struggling to get behind the concept that this is some kind of method acting, rather than a great rapper making a series of horrendous decisions. With some fans going as far as to claim that Cole is the only one who damaged his own career with this song. It's safe to say that the admiration he received from the hip-hop community has taken a major hit from 7-Minute Drill onward. Working within a culture that has a short attention span and even shorter memory, J. Cole now finds himself navigating a tightrope that he has only seen from a distance before. Ever since he came out, Cole has controlled his own narrative, and that's because he always did what was right for him. When the whole platinum, no features thing became a meme, he refused to let it bother him. When people called him Jay Snore, he proved why he was entertaining as any other MC on the mic. Now, for the first time, the narrative has gotten away from him because he's truly taken what the culture seen as an L. A man trying to turn the other cheek in a culture that thrives on combat, Cole is now at the mercy of the people until he can claw himself back up to the level of respect he once had. Because as they say, history is written by the victors. And at the moment, there's no way that's not how the world sees Cole.
Yeah, it was just a feature though. I mean, what the little snippet that they played, not good at all. I'll admit that. But it was just a feature, not an album. So well, I have to wait for the album to like truly see where he's at, mind wise or mindset kind of thing. If you don't respect J. Cole, oh yeah, then you're the problem. None of the hate changes my mind about J. Cole. J. Cole drops one freaking song, and now everybody's saying it's garbage. Yes, it's a feature, bro. Come on, come down. Like an album, wait until it comes out with an album, then go with by that, I guess. But hip hop has not lost respect for J. Cole. He's still seen as one, if not the greatest of generation, just like Kendrick. As other artists, that I'll rap y'all favorite any day. They call him the GOAT. Y'all making an apology and the creepy shit too far because this whole video's title lacks complete sense. The title is just clickbait. It's a big clickbait. He knows what Lewis is doing, obviously. Hip hop respects J. Cole. I know he's being clowned on a lot in the past few weeks, but we will always be on a best lyricist with generation. But plus, he also came back on the terms on them songs from the groupie verse. When Cole drops the fall off, he's gonna gain the respect back, which is kind of funny. The title "Fall Off," right? Bias J. Cole is well respected, and I think as much as I like Luista, I think he was just trying to find a story and milk the story of like that is kind of related to the beef because he has been milking the Kendrick Lamar beef and J. Cole beef like multiple videos. I would like 4 days ago, he put Drake has a woman problem, right? And then 2 weeks ago, he did the metric that's ruining hip hop and has Drake. And then a week after that, before that, Rap's most embarrassing beefs, and that's Kendrick and Drake. And then a month ago, white rappers are scared of Kendrick Lamar. A month ago, and then another month ago was the Drake feature Curse. Then after that was Drake's Dark History was signing artists. So he has been milking the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef for a while now. And hey, respect to him. I understand why he's doing it. Don't get me wrong. But that's why like he's always trying to come up with some stories. Within the rap beef within Drake and Kendrick Lamar. So that's why he's like, oh, okay, let's just talk about j.cole now, because I believe that's the first j.cole video he did in a while. So like he finally like I think he was like, all right, I already did the whole thing with Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Let's talk about j.cole now. So but yeah, but still good video. I still like it. I understand his perspective, I guess, or like what he's trying to bring out within the video. But I just think that a lot of people are just reading too much into it. Just like very few comments. It's like one of those things where like there's probably like 5 negative comments for like 100 positive comments, but like people want to pay attention to the 5 negative comments kind of thing to make the story more interesting. And yeah, it's the future. Like I don't understand. So like, bro, you know how many times people say that Eminem fell off? Wow, he made a bad album after how long career he had. Oh my god, like holy shit, man! People are just so like, oh yeah, he's trash, man. He's trash. Just because they made one bad album or whatever, like not up to the standards he used to make, whatever. Like in people's opinion, it's like, come on, man. It's like it doesn't work like that. But all right, it is what it is.